Ren Call walked through the dusty market of the orbital city, his boots kicking small clouds of rust-colored dust with each step. The market was old, abandoned ships stacked like forgotten toys, cables hanging from broken panels, and alien merchants calling to buyers who never came. The city floated silently above a red gas giant, and the stars beyond shimmered cold and distant. Ren liked the silence. It reminded him that even if the galaxy had turned its back on him, he still had a chance to do something important. Once a human pilot of some renown, Ren had fallen from grace. An accident during a diplomatic mission had left him blacklisted. The council had blamed him, and his peers had laughed. Aliens whispered about him as they passed, shaking their heads at the reckless human who thought he could fly among the stars. But Ren had never been afraid of whispers. He had only been afraid of giving up. Today he had little money in his pocket and less hope. He wandered toward the outskirts of the market, where old, scrapped ships were piled high. Most were broken beyond repair, their metal rusting, engines cold for decades. Ren's heart always quickened when he saw them. Each ship was a story waiting to be rewritten, a chance for a human mind to make something impossible fly again. A small sign caught his eye: rare auction, alien vessels forgotten and free for the brave. The words were faded, the paint peeling. Ren smiled faintly. Brave or stupid, he muttered under his breath. He could not tell which he was. The auction was quiet. Most of the usual alien bidders had already gone home, disgusted by the low-value ships. Ren wandered among the piles of metal, examining each vessel. Some were tiny, barely large enough to hold one pilot. Others were massive cruisers, their shapes strange and angular, engines dormant for centuries. He ran his hands along a corroded hull, feeling the grooves and scratches left by time. Then in the far corner, half hidden behind a stack of older ships, he saw it. A cruiser unlike any he had seen before. Its metal gleamed faintly, even under the dim lights, and strange runes were etched along its sides. The ship seemed alive in some way, as if it were waiting, watching. The aliens around him ignored it, some even muttering warnings. "Don't touch that one," an alien said, a green-skinned traitor with 4 eyes. "It is cursed, or it remembers things it should not." Ren raised an eyebrow. "Remembers?" he asked. The alien shrugged. "Ships do not speak, but some keep secrets. Stay away, human," Ren chuckled. The words only made him more curious. He ran his hands along the ship's hull. It was smooth, cold, but beneath the surface, he could feel something subtle, almost like a heartbeat. He did not know why, but he wanted this ship. When the auction began, most bidders ignored the cruiser. Ren was the only one bidding. The price was low, almost laughable. When the auctioneer's gavel came down, the ship was his. He barely had enough credits to pay, but he did not care. The ship was his, forgotten by everyone else. As he walked toward it, the ship seemed to hum faintly. Ren paused, listening. It was as if the metal itself had a voice. He shook his head. "I'm tired," he muttered. "I am hearing things again." But the hum continued. As he stepped inside, the ship's interior was dark, dusty, and full of strange alien technology he did not understand. Panels flickered weakly, screens showed unreadable symbols, and wires hung from the ceilings like vines. Ren's heart raced. He had never seen technology like this, not in all his years as a pilot. "Hello," he said, his voice echoing. At first, nothing. Then a soft, melodic voice filled the cabin. "Finally, someone is here." Ren froze. What was that?" "I am Lyra," the voice said. "I have waited a long time for someone like you." Ren laughed nervously. "A talking ship, this is impossible." Lyra's voice was calm, patient, but carried a strange warmth. "You are not like the others. You will understand me if you try." Ren's hands shook as he ran them over a control panel. Lights flickered on. Screens came alive with maps, star charts, and strange symbols. I can't believe this," he muttered. "A ship that talks and knows things." Lyra answered, almost teasingly. "I know everything I have seen, and now I see you. I wonder what you will do with me." The first night aboard Lyra was strange. Ren could not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he heard the soft hum of the ship, a rhythm almost like breathing. He explored more of the ship, discovering hidden compartments, rooms filled with strange devices, and star maps that showed routes through the galaxy he had never known. By morning, Ren had made a decision. This ship was not just metal and wires. Lyra was alive in some way, and if he could earn her trust, they could achieve something no one else had. Over the next few days, Ren worked tirelessly to repair Lyra. He cleaned panels, replaced broken circuits, and even managed to restart some of her engines. Lyra guided him quietly, giving hints and instructions he could barely understand. She did not tell him everything, testing his ingenuity, pushing him to think creatively. "Why me?" Ren asked one night as he sat in the pilot's seat staring at the galaxy beyond. "You are human," Lyra replied. "You see possibilities where others see obstacles. You are reckless, yes, but you do not give up. That is why I chose you, even if you do not know it yet." Ren smiled faintly. Humans had been underestimated for centuries, and now he was reminded of why. Even when the galaxy had turned its back on him, his curiosity, courage, and determination had led him to something extraordinary. But the ship also had secrets. Hidden in her logs, Ren discovered warnings, strange anomalies in distant star systems, messages about explorers who had disappeared, and cryptic notes about dangers the galaxy had not yet seen. Lyra would not explain everything, only giving him pieces, forcing him to learn, adapt, and think for himself. The partnership was awkward at first. Ren talked aloud, asking questions, joking to himself, and Lyra responded with curiosity, teasing, and sometimes frustration when he did not understand. Slowly, however, a bond grew. Ren began to see Lyra not as a ship, but as a partner, a friend, someone who had waited for him to arrive all these lonely years. The first flight attempt was simple. Ren activated the engines, and with Lyra's guidance, the ship lifted from the dock. The hum of the engines was deeper than anything he had felt before, resonating in his chest. For the first time in months, he felt alive. "Not bad," Lyra said softly. "You have potential, human. Together, we might reach places no one else dares to go." Ren grinned. The universe had laughed at him once, abandoned him, but here he was, flying a talking alien ship through the stars. He did not know what awaited them, but for the first time he felt hope. That night, as Lyra drifted silently in orbit and Ren slept in the pilot's cabin, the ship whispered stories of past journeys, of explorers who had trusted her and failed, of wonders and dangers beyond imagination. Ren dreamed not of shame or failure, but of possibilities, of the adventures he could have, the challenges he could face, and the legacy he might leave. For the first time in a long time, a despised ex-human pilot felt like the galaxy might belong to him once again. Ren woke to the soft hum of Lyra's engines. The ship seemed almost alive, breathing quietly as it drifted above the red gas giant. The sight of the swirling clouds below reminded him why he loved space. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers, mysteries, and wonders, but it was also full of possibilities. "Good morning," Lyra said softly. Her voice filled the cabin, calm and melodic. "You slept well." Ren stretched and rubbed his eyes. "I think so," he replied, "though it is strange hearing you talk while I sleep." "I do not sleep, human," Lyra answered. "I dream, but differently. I remember, I wait." Ren smiled faintly. There was something comforting in that, even if it was strange. For a machine, or whatever Lyra truly was, she felt more alive than most beings he had met. Most of the galaxy looked down on humans, calling them reckless or weak, but Lyra had chosen him. That was more than any council or alien could ever do. He moved to the control panels and studied the ship systems. Lyra had power beyond anything he had seen. The engines alone were capable of speeds beyond standard warp, but they had been damaged, locked down, and neglected for decades. Alien systems hummed quietly under his hands, some responding, others refusing. "You cannot fix everything at once," Lyra said, almost impatiently. "But you have curiosity. That is why I tolerate your mistakes." Ren laughed softly. "Mistakes? I have made plenty already." "Perhaps," Lyra said, "but mistakes lead to learning. That is a human trait I admire." He worked for hours, reconnecting circuits, repairing damaged panels, and deciphering strange alien symbols. Every so often, he would glance at Lyra's displays, curious about the logs hidden deep in her memory banks. Some were simple: star charts, navigation paths, and maintenance records. Others were more mysterious: encrypted messages, strange symbols, and notes left by the previous alien crew. "What is all this?" he asked, pointing to one log filled with star coordinates and strange warnings. Lyra's voice was calm but tinged with caution. "This is the record of my journeys. I have seen the edges of the galaxy and beyond. I have traveled where no other vessel has dared, but some paths are dangerous, others are unknown." Ren felt a shiver of excitement. This was why he had bought her, not for her engines or panels, but for the stories, the secrets, the possibilities. Humans were explorers, after all. They thrived where others feared to go. He began exploring the ship more carefully. Lyra allowed him to enter rooms that had been sealed for centuries. One room contained glowing cylinders, half filled with a liquid that shimmered like liquid light. Another had strange alien tools, their purpose unknown. Ren ran his fingers along them, marveling at how intricate and advanced they were. "I do not know what these are for," he said. "Do you?" "I remember them," Lyra replied. "They are tools for exploration, for experiments, for discovery. They were used by those who trusted me to guide them. They failed. Perhaps you will succeed." Ren grinned. "I like that challenge." He spent the next few days repairing Lyra's systems. Some repairs were simple: wires, circuits, fuel conduits, but others were nearly impossible. He had to improvise, using human ingenuity to adapt alien technology. Lyra guided him quietly, sometimes giving a hint or a suggestion but never doing the work for him. "You think like a human," she said one evening as he repaired a damaged warp engine. "You see patterns where others see chaos. It is interesting." "Interesting?" Ren chuckled. "I think it is just common sense." Lyra hummed softly. "Common sense is rare among humans, I have observed. But you are exceptional in ways you do not yet understand." Their bond grew stronger. Ren began talking aloud more, telling Lyra stories of his past, of the mistakes that had led him here, of dreams he still carried. Lyra responded with curiosity, teasing, and sometimes gentle criticism. He laughed more than he had in years, and the loneliness that had haunted him faded with every hour he spent aboard the ship. One evening, Ren activated a hidden storage bay, guided by Lyra's voice. The doors opened with a hiss, revealing star maps, encrypted logs, and strange alien instruments he had never seen before. "These belonged to the previous crew?" he asked. "Yes," Lyra said. "They trusted me. They believed they could see everything the galaxy had to offer. They were wrong. Some were lost. Some disappeared. I have waited for someone who could understand me, who could learn, and who could survive." Ren felt a thrill of determination. He had been underestimated, cast aside, and ignored. But here, aboard Lyra, he had a chance to prove himself. Not through combat, not through power, but through intelligence, courage, and perseverance. Over the next few days, Ren practiced piloting the ship. Lyra allowed him to explore her engines, her navigation systems, and her hidden capabilities. Every success filled him with confidence, and every failure taught him something new. He learned to trust his instincts, to improvise, and to listen to Lyra's advice. "You are learning quickly," Lyra said one morning. "Soon, we will see how far your human ingenuity can take us." Ren smiled. Humans had a reputation for being unpredictable. Aliens often feared them or dismissed them, but he knew that unpredictability could be a strength. With Lyra's guidance, he could take risks others would never dare. Then came the first real test. A nearby sector of the galaxy reported a rare cosmic anomaly, a gravitational wave that could disrupt planets and colonies if left unchecked. Ren decided to investigate, even though he had never faced a situation like this before. "Are you sure about this?" Lyra asked, her voice cautious but not disapproving. "I have to try," Ren replied. "If we wait, someone else will suffer. Humans, we act when we can." The journey to the anomaly was not easy. Navigation systems faltered under strange gravitational fields, and alien bureaucrats warned him to turn back. But Ren relied on human intuition and Lyra's guidance. Together, they found paths through the turbulence no other ship could follow. When they arrived, the view was breathtaking. Waves of energy rippled through space, stretching and bending the stars themselves. Ren felt awe and fear simultaneously. He had seen many wonders, but nothing like this. Lyra whispered advice, guiding him to stabilize a nearby colony's orbit that was threatened by the wave. Ren used his human creativity to adapt her systems in ways even Lyra had never used before. Engines roared, shields flared, and with a combination of instinct and innovation, he managed to secure the colony. "You did it," Lyra said softly. "You adapted, you improvised. That is what makes you extraordinary." Ren smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest he had not felt in years. He had faced danger, uncertainty, and skepticism, yet he had succeeded. Humans could be underestimated, but he had proven their potential and his own. The return journey was calm. Ren and Lyra drifted silently through space, both lost in thought. The galaxy was vast, and the anomalies they had seen were only a hint of the mysteries awaiting them. But for the first time, Ren felt ready. "You have changed me," Lyra said quietly. "Not just because of your skills, but because of your spirit. You see the universe not as a set of rules, but as a canvas. You create where others destroy, explore where others flee." Ren chuckled softly. "I never thought I would hear that from a ship." "You are human," Lyra said. "That explains much." By the time they returned to the orbital city, Ren was no longer just a despised ex-pilot. He was a human capable of facing challenges no alien could predict, a mind of creativity, courage, and curiosity. Lyra, once a silent and abandoned ship, now had purpose and partnership again. As they docked, Ren looked out at the stars beyond. The galaxy was wide, full of unknown dangers and secrets. But he knew that with Lyra, with human ingenuity, and with determination, they could face anything. Together, they had begun a journey that would not only change their lives but perhaps change the galaxy's perception of humanity forever. Ren smiled and whispered to Lyra, "This is only the beginning." And Lyra responded almost like a promise, "Yes, human, the universe awaits." Ren Call had never felt more alive. After stabilizing the colony from the gravitational wave, he and Lyra drifted through the quieter regions of space. The stars stretched endlessly around them, some shining bright, others dim and distant. For the first time in years, Ren felt the galaxy was full of opportunities, not threats. Lyra hummed softly as they moved. "We have done well, human," she said, "but the galaxy has more tests for us. Greater challenges await." Ren adjusted the controls and smiled. "I'm ready. Whatever comes, we can handle it together." Their next mission arrived sooner than expected. A distant sector had sent out a distress signal. A massive asteroid field, long believed stable, had begun shifting. Entire colonies in the path of the asteroids were in danger. Alien authorities hesitated, unsure how to act. Too many ships had already been lost attempting to navigate the field. Ren felt his pulse quicken. "We have to help," he said. "Humans act when others hesitate." Lyra responded with a low hum. "This is dangerous. Few have survived such fields, but your mind may succeed where others fail." Together they approached the asteroid field. From a distance it looked like a chaotic storm of rock and metal drifting unpredictably. Sensors beeped constantly, tracking movements. Ren's heart raced. Every instinct he had as a pilot screamed caution, but he also knew the field's chaotic patterns could be navigated if one thought differently. "Trust me," Ren whispered to Lyra. "Let's do this." Lyra's engines glowed as they entered the field. The first few minutes were tense. Asteroids moved faster than predicted, and some came too close for comfort. Ren's hands flew over the controls, adjusting thrust, angle, and shields in a way no automated system could. "Impressive," Lyra said, almost in awe. "You anticipate patterns differently than any human or alien I have seen." Ren grinned. "It's instinct. Humans notice details others ignore." They weaved through massive rocks, some as large as small cities. Sensors warned of collisions, but Ren did not rely only on them. He watched, calculated, and trusted Lyra's guidance. The ship responded with fluid movements, engines flexing and shields adjusting in real time. Midway through the field, a massive asteroid suddenly shifted, blocking their path. Ren's instincts kicked in. He adjusted the thrusters sharply, diving toward a narrow gap between two rocks. Lyra's voice rose slightly. "Caution, that angle is extreme." "I know," Ren replied, "but it will work." The ship twisted and turned, narrowly avoiding the massive rock. Lyra's systems flared as engines pushed past normal limits. For a moment the ship trembled, but it held together. Ren exhaled in relief. "You do not panic," Lyra said softly. "That is remarkable." Ren shrugged. "Humans can stay calm when it matters. We improvise, we survive." As they moved deeper, the asteroid field became more unpredictable. Rocks collided with others, sending debris in all directions. Ren noticed a cluster moving toward a nearby colony. They had little time to act. "Lyra, can we move it?" he asked. "The colony, it's in the path." "Move it?" Lyra replied. "You mean redirect the cluster?" Ren nodded. "I think we can, together." They worked quickly. Ren calculated trajectories, while Lyra adjusted shields and engines to push asteroids subtly, using the ship's gravitational control systems. It was delicate work. One wrong move could destroy everything. "Steady," Ren muttered. "Just a little more." Hours passed. Sweat dripped down Ren's face. His muscles ached and his hands were sore from gripping controls, but they continued. Slowly the asteroids shifted, nudged by Lyra's precise control. The path cleared just enough to save the colony. "Done," Ren whispered, exhaustion mixing with exhilaration. Lyra's engines hummed softly. "You are extraordinary, human. Your mind sees solutions where others see despair." Ren leaned back in his seat, breathing heavily. He could hardly believe they had done it. The alien authorities monitoring the sector began to acknowledge them, sending signals of gratitude and awe. For once humans were not underestimated, for once they were respected. "Lyra," Ren said quietly, "we did it, we actually did it." "You did it," Lyra replied. "I guided, yes, but your mind made it possible. You are unlike any being I have encountered." The bond between them grew stronger. Ren no longer saw Lyra as a ship. She was a partner, a friend, even a mentor in some ways. Lyra, who had been silent and abandoned for decades, had a purpose again. Together they were more than human and machine. They were a team, capable of extraordinary feats. As they left the asteroid field behind, Ren received a message from a distant council. "Human pilot Ren Call and vessel Lyra," it read. "Your actions have been observed. Your courage and ingenuity are noted. You have restored hope where others failed." Ren smiled faintly. He did not need recognition, but it was nice to know that for once, the galaxy saw humans differently. Days later, they encountered another challenge, a sector with unstable wormholes. Ships that entered often disappeared, trapped in loops of time and space. Ren studied the maps and Lyra's memory logs, searching for patterns. Most alien pilots would have fled. Ren did not. "Lyra, can we navigate this?" he asked. "Yes," Lyra said after a pause, "but you must think differently. Trust your instincts, human. Your way of thinking is unconventional. It may succeed where others fail. Ren focused. He watched the data, compared patterns, and made calculations using both logic and intuition. Humans had a talent for seeing connections others missed. Lyra responded instantly, adjusting engines and shields with precision. The ship twisted through the wormholes, a dance of light and energy. Time seemed to bend, but Ren's steady mind and Lyra's guidance kept them safe. When they emerged unscathed, Ren laughed aloud. "You see," he said, "humans can do what others think impossible." Lyra's voice was soft, almost proud. "Yes, human, you prove that potential is not measured by size, strength, or reputation, but by courage, creativity, and perseverance." As they traveled further, Ren reflected on everything they had faced. The galaxy was full of unknowns, dangerous and mysterious, but humans had a unique strength, adaptability, curiosity, determination. And with Lyra, his extraordinary sentient ship, they could face any challenge. "Lyra," Ren said quietly, "we've only just begun. There is so much more to see, so much more to do, and I think together we can change the galaxy's view of humans." "You have already begun," Lyra replied. "They will remember, they will learn, and we will continue, human, always forward, always exploring." Ren smiled and set a course for uncharted space. Stars stretched endlessly before them, promising adventures, mysteries, and challenges. He did not know what awaited, but he felt ready. With human ingenuity, courage, and the bond with Lyra, he could face anything. The galaxy was vast, unpredictable, and sometimes dangerous. But Ren and Lyra were more than ready. They were a human mind and a sentient ship, working together, proving that even the most underestimated beings could achieve greatness. As they vanished into the dark expanse of space, Lyra whispered, almost like a promise, "The universe awaits, human. Let us go where others fear to tread." Ren tightened his grip on the controls and laughed softly. "Then let's see what humans can really do." Ren Call and Lyra glided through uncharted space. Stars stretched endlessly before them, shining bright and distant. The galaxy had begun to notice the human pilot and his extraordinary ship. Ren's name, once despised, was now whispered with a mixture of awe and curiosity. "Lyra," Ren said, adjusting the controls, "we've faced a lot already, but I feel like the real challenge is still ahead." Lyra hummed softly. "Yes, human. We have tested skill, courage, and ingenuity, but the galaxy's greatest tests are not just obstacles, they are opportunities. And you are ready." Their journey had taken them to sectors few dared to explore. Rogue asteroid fields, unstable wormholes, even abandoned alien stations filled with secrets, all had been navigated successfully. Ren's human intuition, combined with Lyra's advanced systems, allowed them to accomplish feats that other pilots could not even imagine. One day, a massive signal appeared on their long-range scanners. It was not a distress call nor a simple anomaly. The energy pattern was enormous, pulsating with a rhythm that seemed almost alive. Ren felt a shiver of excitement. "What is that?" he asked. Lyra's voice was steady but tinged with curiosity. "It is ancient, human. I have records of similar energy, but this is greater. It is a test, a puzzle left by those who came before us. Many have tried to understand it and failed. Perhaps we can succeed." Ren grinned. Humans had a talent for solving the impossible. It was time to prove it again. "Let's see what we can do, Lyra." As they approached, the energy formed a massive field surrounding a small planet. The field disrupted sensors, making navigation almost impossible. Alien pilots monitoring the area had long given up, declaring it impassable. Ren, however, did not hesitate. "Trust your instincts," he said, speaking both to himself and to Lyra. "We'll find a path." Lyra's engines flared as she guided the ship closer. "Patterns are visible if one looks carefully," she said. "I will follow your lead, human, but you must direct us." Ren studied the energy field, noting slight shifts, repetitions, and irregularities. Unlike automated systems that calculated rigid paths, he allowed intuition to guide him. Humans could see possibilities others ignored, and he used that talent fully. "Here," he said, pointing to a narrow gap. "We can go through there, but it's risky." Lyra adjusted her shields and engines. "Risky, yes, but your reasoning is sound. I will trust you." They entered the gap. Energy flares erupted around them, lighting the ship in brilliant colors. Panels flickered, alarms beeped, but Ren's hands were steady. Lyra responded instantly, redistributing power, maintaining shields, and stabilizing engines. Together, they moved through the pulsating field with precision no one else could achieve. As they emerged on the other side, the view was breathtaking. A hidden planet untouched by alien civilizations revealed vast crystal forests, glowing oceans, and mountains that shimmered with energy. The field had protected it, hiding it from explorers for centuries. "We did it," Ren whispered. "We actually did it." "Yes, human," Lyra replied softly. "Your courage and ingenuity have revealed what others could not see. Few humans or aliens could have succeeded." They landed on the planet's surface carefully. The air was breathable, the ground solid, yet everything shimmered with strange energy. Ren stepped out, feeling the ground beneath him, and looked around in awe. Lyra's sensors mapped the area, revealing hidden caves, energy sources, and signs of ancient civilizations. "This is incredible," Ren said. "We've discovered a world that no one else could reach." Lyra hummed with a tone that sounded almost like pride. "And you, human, are the one who made it possible. You see beyond limits, beyond fear. That is why I trust you." Ren spent days exploring the planet with Lyra. They found ancient devices, strange symbols, and records left by civilizations long gone. Lyra deciphered some, but others required human intuition. Ren's mind connected patterns, solved puzzles, and unlocked hidden areas of the planet. Each discovery amazed him, but more importantly, it proved what humans could achieve when curiosity and courage were combined. One day, as they rested on a cliff overlooking glowing crystal forests, a message arrived from the Intergalactic Council. It was formal, polite, and respectful, a tone they had never used with humans before. "Ren Call and Vessel Lyra," it read. "Your recent achievements have been observed. You have demonstrated ingenuity, courage, and creativity beyond expectation. You have restored hope, not only for humans but for all species. You are hereby recognized as an explorer of extraordinary merit." Ren stared at the message, a smile spreading across his face. Recognition had never mattered to him, but it felt satisfying. It meant the galaxy finally saw humans as capable, not reckless. "Lyra," he said, "we did it. They finally understand humans can do amazing things." Lyra's voice was gentle. "It is not just recognition, human. It is understanding. You have changed perceptions. You have proven the value of courage, creativity, and determination. That is what humans bring to the galaxy." Ren looked at the planet below, sparkling with energy and potential. There were more secrets, more mysteries to explore, and he would face them not as a despised ex-pilot but as a human capable of extraordinary feats. "Where to next?" he asked. Lyra's sensors scanned the galaxy. "There are uncharted systems, ancient ruins, and cosmic anomalies awaiting discovery. The universe is vast. We have only begun." Ren grinned. "Then let's go. Humans don't give up. We explore, we adapt, and we succeed." Together they lifted off from the hidden planet, engines glowing, shields humming. The galaxy stretched before them, full of unknown wonders. They navigated star systems, wormholes, and asteroid belts, solving problems that other species thought impossible. Every challenge was a testament to human ingenuity and the partnership between Ren and Lyra. As they traveled, news of their achievements spread. Aliens began to view humans differently. Stories of Ren's courage, creativity, and quick thinking became legendary. Humans who had once been dismissed as reckless or weak were now seen as resourceful, brave, and capable of greatness. Ren did not seek fame. He cared only about exploration, discovery, and the thrill of solving the impossible. But with each successful mission, humans gained respect, and the galaxy began to understand their potential. One quiet evening, Ren sat in the pilot's chair, staring at the stars. Lyra hummed softly beside him. "You have changed me," Lyra said quietly. "I was abandoned, forgotten, but you showed me purpose, human. Together we are unstoppable." Ren smiled. "And you've changed me too, Lyra. I've learned more than I ever thought possible. We make a great team." Lyra's sensors glowed warmly. "Yes, human, a team. And together we will continue to explore, discover, and inspire." Ren tightened his grip on the controls. Ahead lay the unknown, planets, stars, anomalies, and mysteries that no human or alien had faced. But he did not feel fear. He felt excitement. Humans thrived where others hesitated. They adapted, improvised, and succeeded. And with Lyra by his side, there was nothing they could not achieve. As they disappeared into the galaxy, leaving trails of light behind, Ren whispered, "The universe is ours to explore." Lyra responded softly, almost like a promise, "And we will, human, together." For the first time in years, Ren Call felt fully alive. He was no longer a despised ex-pilot. He was an explorer, a hero of intellect and courage, a symbol of what humans could achieve. The galaxy had underestimated them, but Ren and Lyra had proven that human ingenuity, determination, and spirit could rise above any challenge. And as stars shimmered around them, the duo, one human, one extraordinary ship, vanished into the unknown, ready for the adventures the universe had yet to reveal. The galaxy would remember them. Humans would be respected. And the story of a despised ex-pilot and a forgotten, talking alien ship would echo through time as proof that courage, intelligence, and partnership could conquer the impossible.